Spellbound, Chapter 7. It's only an hour flight to Portland, but security procedures mean it's often quicker to drive, or at least it's more convenient. So, we drove the rental car back to Portland and returned it there. Then we packed boxes of fresh clothing, grabbed some supplies from the office, and caught a plane to the next stop on my information gathering tour. I told Adam we were going to see another of my mother's old contacts. He didn't ask for details. He never did. While he met most of my folks back in my Blackbird, this was someone I only visited once since my mother died, and not with Adam. When we opened the door to her office, it jingled to the tune of Jingle Bells. A miniature train set Santa pulling cars filled with presents chugged around the room. The waiting area smelled of peppermint and pine. That probably had something to do with the bowls filled with candy canes and potted dwarf conifers festooned with lights. Someone's really late taking down the decorations, Adams said. It's Las Vegas, I said. Cheesy is encouraged. Holly loves Christmas. She says it makes people happy. Happy is good. Holly? Yup. She told me once that she'd been damn tempted to marry a guy named Chris Kringle, even though he was 80 and had breath that would kill a cat. I grabbed the candy cane and wandered over to a consultation room door. Beyond it, I could hear Holly talking to a client. Beware the man with the empty green eyes, she intoned. He was looking to fill his soul by stealing from yours. I glanced through the partly green door. The dark room was lit only by candles, pumpkin pies, candles by the smell. At a tiny table, the client, dark-haired in her 20s, sat with her back to me. Across from her was a white-haired woman with eyes just as white, staring blindly into nothing. Holly Grayson shaman by birth, physics by trade. Not that she had any ability to see into the future. No supernatural does. But like every good shaman, she had an Yumi, a spirit guide, who could spy on clients and learn enough about them so that she could then predict their future. Holly wasn't as altruistic as Jamie, but she wasn't all bad either. I'm sure her client should aware the man with the empty green eyes, like a lover with those eyes fixed on her bank account. Holly flipped over another tarot card. I'm not sentimental, but I have to admit, the hanging Santa kind of freaked me out. I see a life in suspension, Holly said. You fight against the status. You sway side to side, struggling to get free, to move on. I'm frustrated, the woman said. Which is the problem? Holly tapped the hanging Santa, her blind eyes staring straight ahead. You are too eager. Embrace this time of suspension. Relax. Take a step back and look. Truly look at your choices. The session came to an end after a few more cards, and the young woman rose, leaning across the table to clasp Holly's hands. Thank you. You have such a gift. Holly smiled beautifully. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away, but he is always generous. If given the choice, I would give up my vision again for the gift of the second sight. She rolled back from the table, her electric wheelchair purring, and my legs for the chance to step into the lives of others and make a difference. I went to cast a cover spell, remembered I couldn't, and quickly waved Adam back into the corner with me. I don't think it would have mattered. The young woman was so caught up in her own thoughts she walked right past us. Adam arched his brows as I tiptoed into the room where Holly was gathering up her tarot cards. I slipped behind Holly and said, Boo! She almost jumped out of her wheelchair. Then she swiped out the white contents and peered up at me. Mom, your mother used to do the same thing, she said. Cruelty to the disabled apparently runs in the family. No, we're just trying to teach you a lesson. If you're going to play a blind woman, spring for the semi-transparent contacts so you can see if someone's sneaking up on you. If I can see, then I'll look. And if I look, then they'll know I'm not blind. She tugged me over and held me at arm's length. You look even more like your mother did than you did last time I saw you. Prettier eyes, though. Just don't tell her I said that. There was a noise across the room, and she glanced over to see Adam. You must be the Valsic boy, she said. I've met your father. Can't say it was a pleasant encounter. He wasn't too happy with me. She lowered her voice. I was caught a bit of trouble at the time. Must have been a quite of trouble if you managed to get Dad away from his books. Oh, I don't mean Robert Felstic. I mean your real father, as Bondi, who appears outside his domain even less often than Robert. And when he does, one really wishes he hadn't. Holly adjusted to her chair. He's responsible for this. I don't blame him, though. I was young and arrogant, and it was a lesson I needed to learn. She waved for me to pull another chair up to the table. As we sat, she picked up her tattered deck and shuffled through, fingers discreetly rubbing the edges, looking for the one she wanted. When she found it, she flipped it over. The High Priestess, she said, mystery and duality. Hidden meanings you've come to me on behalf of a friend, with one foot in the world of the dead. Yet I see her addressing masses of the living. She's speaking to them when she's interrupted by. She flipped another card. The fool. A man who thinks he speaks the truth, but babbles nonsense. News travels fast, I said. Yes, Jamie Shows was interrupted by a crazy man last night. That's not why I'm here, though. No. She arched her brows. Perhaps you don't think it's why you're here, but the cards never lie. When I opened my mouth to steer her back on track, Adam cut me off. It's not why we came, he said. But if you know something, I know many things about this, not so much. But let's just say that if the council launches an investigation, I won't be unhappy to see it. This kind of nonsense pops up every now and then, and it seems to be coming back into vogue among the young and disaffected. So you think it's more than an isolated case? I asked. It usually is. Supernaturals, mostly used, band together and carry out their little uprisings. If you check your council records, you'll note the last one was in late 2001. Before that, 1990. Then 1982. See? A pattern. Periods of social and economic unrest, Adams said. And now we're going through another one. It's starting up again. And it will be switched again by supernaturals themselves. These Jews are like the lone fur protester at a fashion show. No one's interested. They just want him to shut up and sit down. This time, though, they're being a little more aggressive in their approach. She glanced at Adam. Do you know Walter Alston? I heard the name, he said. Holly laughed. How very circumspect. You should take lessons from your friend Savannah. I don't need to. That's why I bring him along. So, this Walter Alston is a nasty guy. Someone Adam's dad knows. He's a demonologist, Adams said. But not the same kind as your dad. Take it. Not exactly the same kind. He was one of my father's students, also a former priest and half demon. Walter Austin takes a more active approach to the study, though. Faces demons rather than just reading about it. Adam nodded. His expression gave away nothing, and he had chosen his words with care. It was fascinating to watch, especially when I could remember a time when Adam had been just as forthright and volatile as me. In private, I could see that side and put him in a council situation, and it was like dumping a vat of ice water on his fire. He became the perfect diplomat, cool and calm. And it was a good thing he learned the knack, because I sure as hell hadn't. So how bad is Alton? I asked. He's not bad at all, Adams said. He's an expert in his field. Ha ha. Holly cut in. They called Walter the anti-Robert. Everything Robert Relic stands for understands demons, treating them with cautious respect, Walter disagrees with. A typical student rebelling against his mentor's teachings. If you want to make a deal with a high-ranking demon, he's your man. He'll summon it and negotiate a bargain for a price, a very high price. My heart sped. An expert in the art of summoning powerful demons, the kind of demon that could take away and return my powers. Adam glanced over. I tried for a poker face of my own, but knew I hadn't managed it. So you think Walter is connected to this new movement? Adam said, from everything I've heard, he doesn't sound the type. He's not. Apparently 2 people came to him a week ago, wanted him to contact a Lord Demon. He named his price. They started preaching at him, going on about how supernaturals shouldn't have to hide their powers, how the time is right, the stars are aligned, the almonds are in place. She flooded her hands. New age crap. I can't believe people fall for it. I looked around the room at the tarot cards and astrology charts in scribing poles. No, I'm pretty sure you can believe it. She smiled, which makes me an expert in recognizing it. Walter, too, we're old. We have no interest in such nonsense. We know how dangerous exposure could be. He wasn't buying what they were selling, but if they wanted to buy what he was selling, they could do business. Apparently, though, they hope he summoned the demon as a donation to the cause. He sent them packing. What demon did they want to contact? Adam asked. I have no idea. That's Walter for you. He's a stickler about client confidentiality. Has to be in his business, though. That doesn't stop him from calling up his old friend Holly and bitching about it for an hour. No names, no details, just general old geezer whining. Adam looked at me again, then said, Can we talk to him, see if he'll tell us any details? I doubt he will, but I'll give you his address. I'm sure he'd love a visit from his Archman's son. It give him something else to bitch about.